Folks, Happy New Year to you. It is 2026, and the year is going to be full of neat games after that high-quality shenanigans of 2025. I'm recording this live. I have Kyle Fritz, C2, Matt McDonald, and many more tuning in as we are going to discuss today. What I was thinking this, too. I'm like, what's the first thing? If I have a live stream or a Codename Good Game episode of something to talk about, what is it? And the thing that came to me, and admittedly I recorded this as a video, is what could Xbox do in their 25th anniversary year where they have a ton of big things planned to turn the ship around? There's fans that are going to hear that and go, there's no ship to turn around. Everything's perfect, picture fine. And it's like, look, man, on paper, Xbox had like a super amazing year last year on paper in terms of the publishing side. They published more games than I feel like they ever have. Like, I could be wrong about that, but it just feels like it when you put it all on paper. And a lot of those games reviewed super good. Even a couple of them got nominated or won Game Awards and so on. But the problem is that it was a year that we just can't help but latch on to the bad news. Whenever there's good stuff going on for Xbox, there's always the rake that they step on. That's what a lot of people say. There's always a rake that they step on. So this year, what can they do to make it so there is just minimal to no rakes? And to turn that public image around of just like, people literally questioned last year if there was going to be an Xbox anymore with that whole campaign. This is an Xbox. And just like people were literally like, is there even going to be an Xbox in the future? Like that legitimately happened. People actually were believing like reports and stuff. So what I want to do with you is to figure out what are 9 things that if I was like in charge at Xbox, or if they asked me, what do we do, Mr. Kibiji, to kind of, get the fans super happy and trusting of us again or whatever, and to unite them. I have 9 things, and a couple of them are just personal hopes, but 2/3 of them I think are actually fair game. And while we do this, by the way, I have a poll going on in the chat. How many games do you think Xbox will publish this year? Currently, it's bouncing back and forth between 7 to 8 or 12 and over. So that's pretty interesting. So I have 4 options there in the live chat. I put like 4 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 11, or 12 or more. So I'm very curious which one of those takes over by the end of this. And stick around to the end because we are going to play a good game together. This is a Codename Good Game episode, and I hope you had a great new year and that you're looking forward to some stuff. As I found out from folks earlier, like C2 brought up Tokon and so on. Matt McDonald with the bold claim of Residents of Plague Tale winning Game of the Year. And I really appreciate it. And stay tuned because we're just going to have more Codename Good Game episodes. I'm going to talk about that more maybe in a general live stream soon. And in the year of anniversaries, fun fact, this will be my 10th anniversary with the channel Samurai Kibiji. That's still in 4 months. People are saying congrats, but that's not yet. People are like, congratulations. I'm like, it's not yet. We still got like 4 months to go. Calm down. But I'm just, it's going to be really interesting looking at that. But I labeled this as a Codename Good Game because I want to just use Codename Good Game as opportunities to present particular topics or fun challenges and so on that we can do together. Supertone is in the chat teasing me already. Congrats. I said don't do it yet. We're not there yet. So anyway. So, what are 9 ways that I really hope Xbox can turn the ship around in realistic ways to me? I truly feel all these are pretty gosh darn realistic. And the first one, there's an ambulance outside of my window. Make it worth it. Is that the first one? Wait a minute. Oh, well, I mixed this up. Hang on. I want this to be first because this is more important. This is an Xbox. This is branding that Xbox has really leaned into last year of just the whole, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox. Even, I don't remember if it was in any of the actual branding, but people joke like showing a PlayStation, this is an Xbox, and it depends on how you look at it. But the truth is, that messaging, as controversial as it is, and if everything is an Xbox, nothing is an Xbox, To me, I feel the biggest thing Xbox needs to do this year for their 25th anniversary is to not only, look back at the past and things to celebrate, but it's also to look forward and establish what is Xbox. If you're going to spread the message of this is an Xbox, I don't want to see leadership on camera anymore. I'm kind of done with that. I'm tired of the Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond interviews of just saying, antiquated and stuff like that. But if they do anything, I want them to issue a public message, not an interview, a public message, kind of like that Xbox business update, whatever, at the start of 2024. A public message telling people we, going forward, are releasing our games to other consoles and platforms in a 6 to 12 month window. Or when we publish our games, we are trying to publish it day and date to other platforms. Xboxes, however, things that are labeled an Xbox, which is essentially your phone, PC, or console, those are the only things that have access to Xbox Game Pass. That's what Xbox is going forward. Our platform focusing on ways that you could play your games anywhere or as easily as possible. Us as a developer and publisher are making games for everyone to play regardless of what system it's on. That is us going forward. And they need to rip that Band-Aid off. Like, as early as possible. I know they basically have already said that, so that might seem like a lame thing to start this whole thing with, but I just feel like they need to issue a public statement as even more direct than that. Like, just something as harsh as possible. We are, even the statement, not from Satya Nadella, from Phil, Matt Booty, or Sarah, but just Xbox leadership saying the words that will hurt Xbox fans. We are done with exclusives, which is a whole conversation. And I think that actually, to me, kind of hurts the brand. But I think they need to issue that direct statement as early as humanly possible in the most direct way, because people can figure that out. But they need to issue it as direct as possible to those that don't pay attention to the news. So that's my first one. And Rob says, this branding has led to memes more than anything. A Fire Stick is not an Xbox. It is an Xbox. It's like you said, it's just another way to play cloud streaming. Game Pass is not an Xbox, in my opinion. Exactly. Like that's the issue, is that if they really want to say a Fire Stick, a TV, and all that, a phone is an Xbox, they need to make a clear, and I don't know how to do it, I'm not a marketing person, they need to establish a clear message as to, okay, if an Xbox is no longer a console, then what is an Xbox? Is it a platform? Is it a app? Is it like establish what exactly is Xbox then? They need to do something like that for their 25th anniversary, because Xbox today is not what Xbox was a couple years ago. So they really need to establish, if you're going to go with that messaging, this is an Xbox, fine. Establish what an Xbox is then. I don't know how they do it, but they got to do it. Number 2. Oh, wait, Kyle Fritz. Aren't they allowing the developers to ship where they want, when they want? Exactly. No, yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, exclusivity is kind of done with them, but they keep like tiptoeing. Case by case. Will fall in a window. We are looking into. Like no more of this vague wording. Just be direct. And that's it. So, yeah. Number 2. To me, that's honestly the main complicated rake. Easy stuff going forward and nothing but wins. Make it worth it. You had the biggest moment last year that Xbox fans were outraged is when they raised the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate as your main thing that you have the advantage of. You as Xbox had the big advantage of releasing your games day and date onto a subscription. PlayStation doesn't do that. Nintendo doesn't do that. It's very rare that they do. It's usually like a partner thing or something for PlayStation, not their first party stuff. That was their big advantage, and they raised the price immensely to give you Fortnite, Ubisoft, and stuff. So if you're going to raise that price, they did state, we are giving you 75 plus games day one. Let's assume we have a poll going on in the chat, the people watching live. How many games does Xbox publish this year? 40% are saying more than 12. Cool. If, let's say, 12 of those 75 plus games are first party ones, what are the other 63? Are they all going to be indie games that are 10 to 20 bucks? Last night, I got back on Game Pass, FYI, because of freaking Kelvin from Gaming Duo. We played Rematch again, and I'm like, all right, I'll get back on it because there's something else coming to it soon. But the something else coming to it soon, it's like Hollow Knight. It's like 15 or 20 bucks. So technically, I could have just bought the game for the same price it costed me to, do an upgrade to Ultimate. There's another game that's like where you're playing as an egg trying to go up this house or whatever. That game's like $8. And if those are the games that make up Game Pass, then that kind of messes up the worth of it. But if you have C2 watching live brings up Persona 4 Revival, that is coming to Game Pass. That's a big get. So what I hope, and if I was CEO of Xbox, I'm like, listen, at least 20 of these games that we are releasing next year are big hits. They are $50 or more, and they are decent to high profile names. They have a big publisher behind it. I don't know, like examples, like they would never put Crimson Desert on there. But that's an example. Something that's pretty like making its rounds or whatever. Or Capcom getting Pragmata on there. I'm not saying that's going to happen. But that's an example of games like that. Some big ass partners. They need to make Game Pass worth it if they're going to raise it. So, because that's the thing. When it was $20, for an extra $10 a month, if you're just paying for core and you upgrade for 10, then if you're making that upgrade to 10 to upgrade to 20 now, to get to the $30 Ultimate, you got to add some big ass names to make the service worth it. Rob, they're going to bring back the day ones back to the middle tiers. I hope it's not, man. Like Lies of P. If there's 20 games that are the status of Lies of P, and I'm not saying all 20 of those games will interest me, but if they add 20 games that are the status of Lies of P or Persona 3 Reload, those were good-ass partner gets. I would love to know if you're watching, what are some great, that you think is pretty possible games that they could get? That, Lies of P and Persona 3 Reload are great examples. We're already getting Persona 4 Revival. What's something in 2026 that could be a neat, oh my God, they got that. It can't just be indies. It can't just be AA. They got to get some AAA or high-profile things in there if they're going to justify that $30, because Ubisoft and Fortnite just doesn't cut it. Kyle Fritz, I've noticed Game Pass Premium gets a lot of the games Ultimate does eventually. Yes, that is true. Premium is still a very valuable option for people that don't need the day ones and can just wait 3 to 6 months. That is very true. I'm very curious about how Ultimate pans out with these 75 plus day one games. Yeah, it just depends on what those games are. And Supertone, what if it had a more special edition of games, including the DLC and such? That'd be great. That would be great if it included DLCs and such, but it just seems like they're not doing that either. They've kind of removed a lot of the DLC functions of Game Pass and whatnot, so that's number 2. Number 3. They're releasing a lot, and hopefully we'll get the partners, and we'll hopefully establish what Xbox actually is. But the big thing that Xbox is saying, because they are saying we got plans, we got some big plans to share for this year. But the major thing is that we will have our 25th anniversary year, 25 years of Xbox. We're going to celebrate that with a new Fable, a new Gears of War, a new Forza, and Halo, you know, at the time he didn't say Halo, but now we know Halo Campaign Evolved. That is their 4 horsemen. And one of my biggest issues with Xbox, and I actually did a video about this way back, where it's like people say Xbox doesn't release quality games, and I proved that wrong, and I showed all the Metacritics and whatnot. But it's not about them releasing quality games. They release plenty of quality games. They don't release the major blockbuster hits. Like when PlayStation, and we're going to get to this, when PlayStation releases something, it feels like a moment. At Xbox, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they just chug games out. We're going to talk about this later. And it just doesn't feel like there's the major, like, iconic IP. But this year, the 4 Horsemen are supposedly coming out. And my big thing with this is there's a lot of talk of like maybe Fable doesn't make it, maybe Gears of War doesn't make it. People are pretty confident Halo Campaign Evolved and Forza 6 will make it. Forza Horizon 6 will make it. If I was CEO, I'm like, what do you guys need to make sure all 4 of these come out? And all 4 of these are out in a polished state. If you don't think you're going to make it by the end of the year, and you have the core game there, what can we trim out to make sure that this is finished this year? People are going to hate me saying that. I know, like, people say, like, you know, don't rush art and whatever. But look, if each of those games have been in development for 5+ years, it's about time. I mean, Campaign Evolved, that's different. But if hopefully all 4 of these games come out this year and all 4 of them review like at least 80 and above, then that is gonna be really freaking cool. And I see like C2 bringing up, mishandling of those franchises has hurt their perception. Halo 3 outsold most of the Call of Duties on 360. We're far away from those days. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, we'll get to something about that, which basically has to deal with marketing. Marketing is a big thing, but we'll get to that. But yeah, hopefully all 4 of them hit. Hopefully all 4 of them come out and all 4 of them hit. They're all very different things, with Forza racing and / open world, Fable, fantasy RPG, Gears of War, great cooperative shenanigans, and Halo being the mascot, to which, speaking of Halo, embrace your freaking Mario. This is where we get to the personal side of these directions. Like, if I was CEO, this is probably a bad idea in some way, but embrace your freaking Mario again. We had the Safe Space stream about this, that I was saying, why is it that Halo, even by name, even by uttering the name, has not been on an Xbox stage in over 3 years. As of last year, it was 3 years that Halo has not even been named on an Xbox stage. And if it's not mentioned again this year, is that actually 4 years? Hold on. 2022 it wasn't. 2023 it wasn't. 2024 it wasn't. 2025 it wasn't. 4 years! It's been more than 4 years since Halo has even been name dropped on an Xbox stage. You got Campaign Evolved coming out. And that's probably the way that Halo is going to show up on the Xbox stage again. I really hope that, I forgot to mention this in the last note, that it'd be really cool, in my opinion. I'd love to see what you think about this, whether you're listening post or listening live. What do you think about if that Xbox Developer Direct was the 4 Horsemen? You know, if it was Fable, Gears, Halo, and Forza, I think that'd be pretty sick. And a lot of those games, especially like Fable and Gears, like could use some big looks. Actually, all 4 of them could use some really extensive looks. But the other thing that I want to say is what Kyle Fritz is watching live. Standalone multiplayer Halo would be nice. What I really hope is, hypothetically, that Developer Direct that they do, it's super it's entirely focused on those 4 IP, those 4 brand new games, the 4 Horsemen releasing this year. They commit to that happening. They give release windows and such on all of them, give us extensive looks, And then at Xbox Showcase, they give us another look at Halo. And it is whatever is next for the multiplayer. Or maybe it is the tease at like whatever the next mainline game is. But the point is, there is another thing to celebrate with Halo, because it is also going to be Halo's 25th anniversary this year. So I really hope they embrace their Mario, because it's been way too freaking long. And if you're going to celebrate 25 years of Xbox, you got to celebrate 25 years of Halo and not make it just a Halo Studios thing that they do, or the Halo community. No, let the Xbox community celebrate their freaking Mario. That is now going to be playable on PlayStation. However, we cannot forget about the other guys, about their freaking partners that isn't Halo. They got so many other brands and IP and whatnot that, you know, we can't forget about. And there's some that are not going to be ready this year. But, you know, I mentioned that 4 Horsemen Xbox Developer Direct, and I hope that, like, they, you know, if they do those 4, they always have like a surprise 5th. Maybe they could have a 5th or 6th. But, like, you know, Toys for Bob. Toys for Bob usually releases a game every 3 or 4 years. And we're about at that time. If you don't know who Toys for Bob is, it's the people that made Crash Bandicoot 4. It's the people that handled the remasters of Spyro Trilogy and Crash Trilogy. They've been working on something for Xbox. And I think this is the year that we not only see it, but I think we get it. I think it releases this year. And these are the guys that also really like have expressed they want to work on the Bird and Bear. So let's see this next game come out. And then hopefully they can move on to the Bird and Bear, if you know what I mean. But that's one. Clockwork Revolution was my trailer of the show last year at the Xbox Showcase. And I think that is another one we could very well get. There's also stuff like expansions. We're going to get a Doom DLC at some point. We're going to get the next Diablo 4 expansion. Most likely, you know, expansions to ESO and Sea of Thieves and all that jazz. I think there's a rumored Starfield expansion. So, and there's a lot of smoke around like a Fallout 3 remake in the vein of Elder Scrolls 4. There's a lot of other stuff that could accompany the 4 Horsemen, if you will. So we can't forget about that. And that already makes, like, game-wise, I think last year was amazing for Xbox in terms of the first-party side. Again, Game Pass has to have those bigger partners to justify the $30 price tag. But first party wise, it could be a really solid year. But there's something else very important. But before I hit that, I want to see some messages here. Rob, they don't hold the Halo name sacred anymore. So true. Again, the Halo TV series did some damage to the reputation to the brand, and 343 couldn't live up to the Bungie games. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the problem, and I've said that for many years, Rob. Halo as a brand now is just very different to what it used to be. People just have this different, like, but it's the issue we're addressing in this episode where we're talking about how Xbox can turn this public perception of them around. And that's, Halo's a part of that. And everything we're saying is a part of how you do that for the Xbox brand, that this is an Xbox. What is an Xbox? And all these things is hopefully to establish, oh, it's a great publisher that has hardware and platforms and such. Again, they need to figure out a more iron message. Supertone brings up Skylanders for Spyro. Kyle Fritz, a Starfield relaunch. That's probably going to happen this year. We will see Starfield come to PlayStation. C2, Xbox still has shooter user base because of how big Halo was. Yeah. Gears of War, baby. But the other thing is this is the 25th anniversary year. And we keep hearing Sarah Bond and everybody go, promise you guys, don't worry about the Xbox consoles because we're still making one. We're going to have the premium device. So stay tuned. So this is the year in the vein of establishing trust, in the vein of establishing a future for the Xbox brand and establishing the clarity as to what that is. And in the year that we are going to see a Steam machine for those PC players that, they just want that, we need to see what Xbox's next step is. And that next step seems to be, let's just, in terms of hardware, have that Xbox PC. And I had a nice little back and forth, speaking of Rob and Kelvin, like I was talking with them in this voice app, and I'm just like, here's the thing. The Steam machine is going to be the Xbox Series S. It's that more cheaper machine that gets you entry into PC gaming, just in your living room. Let's call it the Xbox Tower. Whatever, it's going to be stupid. The Xbox Tower is twice the price of a Steam machine, but it is also twice as powerful, and it runs Windows instead of Linux or whatever Steam runs. And it gets you access to your Xbox library, your console Xbox library, not your PC one, your Play Anywhere one. And you get to play your console games as well as everything PC related. And that's not going to be a thing that they want to make in bulk, but that's a thing that could be very interesting to the nuts out there that are like, hey, I want to play native 4K at 400 frames per second. That's a machine designed for those crazy nuts. But they still have everything else. They have the cloud streamings. They got the series. They got, all these ways, or just stick with your PC, just stick with what our platform, our publisher is. But give us that idea of you truly owning your lane when it comes to hardware, which is, let's just make the most powerful thing ever and the best possible way that people can play GTA 6. Just own their lane. But most importantly, as some of you alluded earlier, do your job, Aaron Greenberg. I'm CEO now. I'm having a talk with Aaron, and I need to have a conversation with him. And hey, Aaron, can you explain to me why we put the studio that Tim Schafer runs, that Double Fine, an indie darling runs, why did we just shove out their game as if it was nothing? How come we had a partnership with Japan and we did this air blimp thing, but we didn't really have a campaign for it? How come we allowed this weird-ass Call of Duty Black Ops 7 live action trailer that seemed like it was written by AI and it had all these actors doing nothing that relates to the game in it? Why did we use our entire marketing budget on that Black Ops trailer instead of giving backing to all these other things that we released? That's a big thing that needs to shift at Xbox this year. They need to, especially if you got your 4 Horsemen out, where's your freaking marketing budget? You're going to lay off all these people to cut down expenses? Fine. Put those expenses towards your marketing to making all these releases from your own studios feel legit. Oh, but we go to Gamescom. We have the biggest booth at Gamescom. No. Oh, we're bringing back BlizzCon, though, which is true, by the way. That's a big deal this year, too. We're bringing back BlizzCon this year, and we're backing that. No. You need the Believe campaigns from Halo. You need Eminem to be singing in that next Call of Duty trailer or whatever, like the old days. You need to see that Imagine Dragons Starfield music video. You have your moments, you do what I'm talking about, but where are those campaigns for almost all your games? Granted, a game like Keeper from Double Fine doesn't exactly warrant a big marketing, because it's just a couple-hour game and it's small and maybe wasn't made for a lot. So maybe the budget and expectation of sales affects how much they market it. But you got to do something. You got to do something more than a tweet. So do your job, Aaron. Shout out to Tina Amini, girl at IGN that joined the Xbox team, and she is the one that introduced the Developer Direct program, these Xbox partner previews, doing more podcasts. She has been great in terms of being in touch with the developers and being like, keeping the community posted. But we need those moments of where's the Super Bowl trailers? Don't actually do that, but you know what I mean? Like where's our marketing campaigns for the general audience that doesn't pay attention to the news? They need that. Patrick, Xbox could release nothing and just celebrate these anniversary milestones like Mardi Gras, and I'd be happy. Really? I disagree with that. I wasn't an Xbox fan back in the day, but I love anniversaries. I'm excited for the anniversary too, man. Like, that's why I really hope like that they do more, like that they really make it feel like an anniversary instead of just saying it is. Like, make us see these crazy marketing campaigns or these montages of the past and really make us feel 25 years of Xbox, as well as like looking forward to everything coming in the present and future. Kyle, continue to facilitate better Japanese support is one of my personal hopes. Oh yeah, that'd be great. And Bobby, Jez said at BlizzCon he expects to see that new third-person shooter StarCraft game that Jason's trying. So, Bobby, that's interesting because I was just reading that article he did before this, and I didn't see him say that personally. He brought up some things about Blizzard, but I definitely would love to see that. I think that'd be great to see the third-person StarCraft game. But yeah, like, there's a lot of opportunities this year. There is BlizzCon, there's the Developer Direct, there's a showcase, there's a chance for like the actual 25th anniversary to bring back FanFest or XO. I'm curious if you know what that is, because a lot of people probably don't, but if you want to just appeal to the fans, there's that. And finally, just like XO does, just like the Xbox FanFest does, bring your family together. And I don't mean this in just the fans. I don't mean this in just the fans. I don't mean this in just the Xbox community. I mean the developers that feel like they got a gun to their head. Make these guys feel like they can make a game again. Make them feel like they are not under a magnifying glass. And if they don't get something done in the next 2 days, they are all gone. I think it is important to establish some tough love. And there's a statement that Matt Booty said that, hey, we have over 40 projects in development. Everything you saw at the Xbox showcase this year is safe. And that statement right there, everything you saw in the showcase this year is safe. That is what I'm talking about. Like, we have to establish no more layoffs, no more closures. We have now trimmed as much fat as possible. And now going forward, if you have a project to pitch, then we have to look at that project after a year or two of development, and we really need to know from you, is this going to be complete? It can't. What happened to Everwild and what happened to Perfect Dark sucked, but there were also games that were apparently not like that close to being done after over 6 years of development. We didn't even know what the hell Everwild was going to be after over like 7 years of it being in development. So it's like, as a business person, if I was CEO, I get it. I get why they did that. It sucks, but I get it. So going forward, and now that you've trimmed as much of this stuff as possible, and I know there's reports about Microsoft supposedly laying off more people, but in terms of the gaming side of things, hopefully we are done with all the closures. We are done with the mass layoffs. There'll still be layoffs, but hopefully nothing like huge level. You know, it's like a dozen or whatever, which will still suck, you know, but not mass level. And I really hope that they establish, hey, to us, your game is a success if we see a massive boost in Game Pass subscriptions, if we get a lot of sales, if we get boost in monthly active users. Like, establish the point of success, and also establish, if you just want to make this game, let's lay out the budget for it. Like, really bring your family together, put down some tough love if you don't think that this project is going to be worth it early on, so you no longer have these closed projects. And of course, as Kyle says, bring back Scalebound, because you just worked with Platinum Games on Ninja Gaiden 4. So anyway, I think truly, if Xbox, the biggest thing to me, if they want to have a great 25th anniversary, is to really establish clarity on what an Xbox is. The 4 horsemen come out and they're awesome. Don't forget about your other peeps, because there's still other peeps to pay attention to. Get Aaron Greenberg to do his freaking job, market these things, establish what your next console is, and your direction in terms of hardware to secure your victory with that whole thing and own your lane. And unite the damn family. That's like the condensation. I know I had 9 points, but that's the main thing. Get people to understand what Xbox is going forward. Show them all the games you're doing. Get those games to be super good and get the family united. In both the fan base and your internal teams. Am I right or wrong? There is an article from Jez Gordon that I was reading before this. Like Jez Gordon, he's a very credible insider in terms of Xbox news and whatnot. And there's a lot in this that he kind of is speculating and also reportedly hears. Something that I do think is pretty interesting is that he brings up that he thinks Obsidian is now on like 4 different games. Where is it? He says, I'm told Obsidian of Grounded, The Outer Worlds, and Fallout New Vegas fame has 4 new projects. Some big, some small. So that's pretty cool. And I believe it because Obsidian, they just got done releasing 4 projects, basically. So what are the next 4? That's a studio that just keeps chugging out games. There's also a little bit that he talks about BlizzCon, that I'm very curious about BlizzCon. That's something of a personal hope. I really hope BlizzCon is like a spot that it's going to entertain the Blizzard fans, but I really hope like in the Xbox showcase or at BlizzCon or something that we really feel like they are part of the Xbox family. And I don't know how they do that. Maybe. What if, man? What if? And this is where it's like, now that I presented all this, I kind of just want to openly speculate with you. Like, what if to launch this Xbox Tower, this Xbox PC, day one, they're just like World of Warcraft. You could play it on this Xbox PC. Oh, well, it's always been playable on PC. No. It'll be available on console the same day. What? That would be sick. That would be a great thing, because we're also celebrating like 35 years of Blizzard, 40 years of Bethesda this year. That would be pretty freaking cool. And there is stuff. I think I actually skipped something in my countdown here. I could have swore I put it, but you need to establish a bright future. Did I have that anywhere? On your lane, your family together. Yeah, I think I did forget it, but yeah, you need to establish your future. Because with that new system, like World of Warcraft coming to it, yeah, that's cool. But what is the new games coming? And I'm telling you, that Xbox showcase, I did a whole video about this way back. It could be the best Xbox showcase we have ever seen. If you strictly just think about it as a game showcase. Because, yeah, you could see the hardware, but that is a spot that I truly think the timeline aligns. And I did the whole video about this like 2 years ago. Back in 2024. That's crazy. We see State of Decay 3. We see Arcane's Blade. And even a re-reveal of The Elder Scrolls 6. And it just says 2027 at the end of it. And other stuff that we don't know about. But I think that is a very strong possibility for that showcase. So that's my plan for Xbox. Rob, if you're watching live, let me know if you want to hop on. But yeah. And I also have a little game that I want to present to you watching live that is like to celebrate 20 years of Xbox, so to speak, because it is a Code Name Good Game episode after all. But what I want to know is hopefully to integrate the community. Like if you're watching this post stream, please let me know like what is a big Xbox Game Pass get? What is some first party stuff you would look forward to? Do you think I'm kind of off in some of the plans? And this is where the community gets involved. So, we're going to discuss that for these. It's if you've seen Kind of Funny, it's like almost like, and let's go to the super chats. But now I'm just getting to the people that are watching live, but also I'll respond to the comments of this and possibly be bringing Rob on here. In fact, I'm going to put on some... Where is it? And C2, success is a metric. As a metric is difficult. It's always like Xbox. That's the worst thing. Is what is the metric of success there? With day one on Game Pass games, in my opinion, no single game is going to boost Game Pass numbers. At most, they maintain this current level. Besides Starfield and Call of Duty, those two games boosted the numbers significantly. But you know, like, yeah, it's pretty rare you're going to get something like that. But yeah, Rob, let me see if I can add you. I'm going to see if I can add a spontaneous guest, ladies and gentlemen. And Rob, we're going to have a fun little game to play. I'm going to start a video call with you. Oh, I guess. Doot. There we go. Doot. Doot. Yay. But yeah, drop your comments in the chat if you feel like. And also, the poll's still going. How many first-party games do you think Xbox will release? Will it be 4 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 11, or 12 plus? Oh, and the glasses dude is here. Oh my goodness. Yes. Let me see. Oh, I need to pull this down. And actually, I'm going to put on a music track as we transition here. Is there a fun game show I have? Where's my fun game show? I have a fun game show. Oh. I put on all these sounds. Nah. Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can get you in, Rob. I have Robert Garcia potentially joining. Robert, can you say something?
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. I need to get rid of this music. There we go. Say someone else?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you
guys Yay! Okay, yep. You're here. Good. There's Robert. Hello, Rob. Thank you for swinging by.
Everyone.
I'm going to turn you up, though. Keep singing. What do you think? What do you think of what I was bringing up?
Lots of good points. I think you hit the nail on the head of a lot of the stuff that we talked about, or you talked about. I think the gist of it right now is Xbox has a really bad branding issue right now, and I think it's what it is. Their marketing has it's just they don't know what they are. They don't have an identity right now, and I think all the fans are asking for is we don't care that you're going through a transition, but you have to let us know what you are.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all it is. That's it. That's it. We know what PlayStation is. We know what Steam is. We know what Nintendo is. We don't know what Xbox is.
We don't know what Xbox is. That's literally the situation. Like I that's what I'm saying, because you're right. You said during the chat like this is just Halo, like the Halo name has been tartared and stuff, and it's just like I feel like Xbox is almost in a similar way of just like what is Xbox now. But if anybody's listening, Rob from the Gaming Duo podcast is now on as like a very spontaneous call on. I asked before this, I was like, if you just hear the stream, feel free to jump on and give your take on things. But and C2 like was already, Rob is always welcome. Hooray. Oops, I have you pause on a very funny screen.
Nice. I can see it. It looks good. Just chugging out of my water bottle.
I got it. Wait, what did Bobby say? Oh wait, Kyle Fritz and Kingdom Hearts 4. Okay, wait, Rob, hypothetical Xbox showcase. What if they were the one to drop the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer?
There's no way.
Doesn't that seem out of place? But
you know, in today's day and age, it's not the out of realm of reality for that to happen, right? Like that could very well just randomly happen, but that would be insane. I hope it actually I hope it happens. I welcome it.
I mean, they were the ones that dropped the Frozen trailer. They did. They were the ones that did the Frozen trailer. So,
really?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe.
That was actually, I mean, that's a good example of good marketing. That's a good marketing thing because they, like, that year at E3 2018, Xbox was the first one to show a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer and it was Frozen. And then PlayStation went the next day and they showed a Pirates of the Caribbean trailer. And I was like, oh crap, they hit both shows. That's cool.
I have a question for you. This is kind of
Yes.
not Xbox related. It's more Kingdom Hearts related. I know we're diverging here. But do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 releases cross-platform day one? And the reason why I'm asking this is because Final Fantasy 16 came out. It was a time exclusive for PlayStation and eventually came out on Steam or PC and all the other things. Do you think they're going to do the same with Xbox? I mean, with Kingdom Hearts 4?
Yeah. No question.
Yep.
I mean, because they already did it with Kingdom Hearts 3, you know?
But I don't think Square Enix was very happy with the sales of Final Fantasy 16
when
it launched.
And so this is a good point, because Rob, you're bringing up one of the big concerns, because I have some people that are just like, listen, exclusives dying is a fantastic thing. Like, death to exclusives, that's great if Xbox does it. But the problem, I agree with that, but everybody has to do it at once, because the whole thing about turning around the ship, and this is where I'd love your take or you watching Bobby C2 Super, is if exclusives go away and less people go to the Xbox platform, less publishers are going to feel inclined to publish there. Because it's like, why do we need to spend the time to develop it for that platform when we're really just going to get another 10% of sales for it? Now, maybe that's not hard to do, but that's like Dispatch is a great example. That was one of your top 3 of the year, I've heard, and that's not available on Xbox. It's because they money hatted it. Is it money hatting, or is it because they just didn't feel the need to publish the Xbox? That's what I'm worried about. Hades 2, on Switch 2, I don't know. You have a comment on that?
Yeah, no, you make a good point about the other games there. It's like, okay, well, if these games didn't do it, why this game should do it? But it's very strange to me. Like, why wouldn't you at this day and age release to everything? And I get, if you're creating the platform within a certain ecosystem, right? When you're developing it, you release it, you built it on PlayStation 5, right? And for it to release on time, it needs to be it needs to come out on PlayStation 5 first, right? And then we can get more time to develop it on other platforms. Yeah. So I could see that, but I'm at the same time it's 2026. You should just release on freaking everything. Just release on everything.
but see, and that's the thing. I think Kelvin was saying in our private chat or whatever. But I'm missing the message as to why would Xbox feel a need to do this then? And my theory, ladies and gentlemen, is if Xbox is really seeing the console base just die out, which it kind of has been, not just for Xbox, but especially Xbox, then it's cool, let's just make the first console that isn't Valve's that can play Steam games. And because Steam is taking over, and I've talked about that previously too, and so it's okay, but how are you going to entice people to buy the super high priced version of the Steam machine? If the Steam machine is hypothetically $800 and then this is $1,400 or $1,200 or something, why would they buy it? Is Game Pass alone going to be enough? Well, what are those 75 plus games? Is the Play Anywhere going to be enough? I don't know, because if they're just only playing on that platform, what's those eyes?
Well, it's tough because we're looking at, you talked about the consoles and RAM shortages and everything's expensive for PC parts. So PC players aren't going to be really playing Xbox games on their PCs because they can't build the rigs that they want. We're going to be using pretty much what they have right now. So does Xbox kind of double down on the Game Pass model of just hey guys, you can play us anywhere, your cloud gaming, and then there's, we got our servers ready up and you can play any game you want at any time and it's going to look good, right? Do they double down on that because you can't actually play on your PC right now because everything's so crazy expensive? But for the low price of $30 a month, you could play whatever you want.
Dude, what would be cool? And I don't see them doing this, but if they brought back, I don't see them doing it, but it'd be cool if they brought back Xbox All Access. If you watching remember Xbox All Access, please let me know, because I feel like I'm the only person that remembers that. But That was at the start of the series generation where you could basically, like a phone plan, pay for your console as well as Game Pass. And it actually saved you money in the long run, but it's like, cool, if this is going to be super expensive, then that could be a way to manage it. And maybe that's also their way of keeping you in the ecosystem, but they probably won't do it. But, and C2, this RAM issue makes the PS5 Pro look better in hindsight. It kind of does. It kind of does. What are you going to say?
I mean, I was going to say, yeah, like, where do you think I'm going to be playing my games, my Xbox games, as of right now, if I want to play them in the easiest, most accessible way possible? It's going to be probably on my PS5 Pro if I do get one, because it's looking like a good deal, like $700.
I thought you were going to say your Portal.
No.
That's technically the most easy way.
About getting a PS5 Pro, just because of my PC's getting a little on the older side.
Yeah,
that's a good entry point. For the price
that's the thing. It's like right now so Grand Theft Auto 6 is only coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to stay that way because Rockstar knows they could just double down a year later and people will buy it. Monsters. So that could generate a crap ton of console sales. But then the question is, where can I play GTA 6 the best? You know? And right now that's PS5 Pro. And I was really hoping that this Xbox Tower, whatever it is, if that came out surrounding Grand Theft Auto 6, that would be a big deal. But I don't think people are that crazy to do that. But yeah,
do you truly think their Xbox will at least announce a new console that they've been working on this year?
Do I think? Yes. Do I think they have to? Yes. It's like the first, like, do I hope they do, or do I think they will? Soft yes. Do they have to? Hard yes. Because this year, it's like the whole theme of this, they need to establish the clarity, the security, the plan, the branding. So, and that, whatever that next hardware is, it has to be a part of that. But, wait, C2, in my mind, the hardware is only for annual Game Pass subscribers now. The hardware is for Game Pass subscribers. I fully agree with that. I think the most, like, Game Pass stopped growing on consoles because pretty much I think everybody that had a console would subscribe to it. That would, and PC was growing for them. But yeah, the hardware, if you have an Xbox, most likely you have Game Pass if you know about Game Pass. But like you and Kel, you guys don't got Xboxes, I think, but you did PC Game Pass and on and off.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think if somebody has an Xbox, Game Pass is neat. But again, $30 a month, that's hard.
I mean, you have an Xbox. You tell us you have an Xbox Series X and S, right? You don't keep Game Pass all the time. Like, do you prefer to just play your game native and own them instead of paying the $30 a month for the?
See, now I just don't care. It just depends on what the game is. Like, part of me kind of wishes that I bought Diablo 4 because then I wouldn't have to subscribe again to play it. Same with Sea of Thieves as well. Stuff like that, you know, I don't want to have to upgrade to the higher tier to play this multiplayer thing. I just want to hop in now and then. But if it's something I could beat in a month, like right now I resubbed to play Rematch really quick with Kelvin. Mio Memories in Orbit is in like 13 days, and that's actually what got me back onto the service because I'm like, oh, I think I could beat that in a couple weeks and maybe something else before it comes out. And that's like my mindset with Game Pass now. It's like, what can I play with the month that I have it? Which Persona 4 Reload, it took me 2 months to beat Persona 3. So
I've never beaten yet, so you're better than me. Take the toll. Big game.
Yeah.
We were talking about kind of the Steam machine. Do you think Xbox creates a native Game Pass app for the Steam machine or for Steam?
Well, see, so that's the thing. I looked into that, and Steam machines and Steam Decks and whatnot, because they run on Linux and not Windows or whatever the other thing that isn't Windows, you have to, people like, yeah, you could use Game Pass, but you have to do it using cloud. You can't run it natively. And I was like, dang, that's a big deal. But I feel like you're completely eliminating
user base because they want everything to be an Xbox, right? So why can't the Steam
Well,
machine be an Xbox? Why can't the Steam Deck be an Xbox, right? I understand they want to push the Asus ROG Ally, right, to do that. But if you're trying to be everywhere, why wouldn't you be on every single gaming console possible? You know?
well, in a
That's
way
about
they
right.
are, because that's the thing. Their whole idea of this as an Xbox is using cloud. That's the thing. Is like your phone and tablet, you're not going to play it natively. You're gonna play it with cloud. You know, so
Yeah, but make it
that's
available everywhere, you know? Why wouldn't
well, but
you?
that's what I mean. Like it's as available on Steam Decks and Steam machines as it is on a phone and tablet. It's just not available in the way that it is on actual Xbox hardware. I think
Correct. You
that
have to do a little
yeah, that's what they're doing. It's like if it's not our hardware or a PC running Windows, then the games can't play natively. If you can do that, but just buy them to do that. I'm like, oh, that's your play or whatever. But anyway, let me just look at some messages here. Supertone, ground turkey burgers are underrated. Okay. Again, Bobby, yeah, as a fan, I just want good games. Exactly. Like, I think, I'm telling you, Rob, like, and everybody watching, if those 4 Horsemen hit this year, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be so happy, dude.
I'm praying that Gears of War returns to form and it gets me excited about the I'm scared. I'm actually scared that it's going to be bad. Like it's not going to be, but there's a doubt in my mind. It's like it's not going to hit as much as I wanted to. But I have a feeling Xbox knows they have a lot riding on this right now. So
and it's kind of their Halo Infinite this year, like in terms of like a flagship, because at the Game Awards, it like literally like there's the only thing Xbox did at the Game Awards besides showing the Diablo expansion is like, hey, here's a live action commercial of Game Pass, and in 2026 there was just this huge banner of the Gears of War logo on it, and like, so that's you're making that your flagship. I really wonder if like they make that the big developer direct attached to the end of the showcase this year, or if we get that front loaded one. That's tough, and if any of us have the balls.
Delayed?
See, that's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna say, like, if any of us have the balls to draft it in Fantasy Critic next week, you know. Because it's like, does it make it? Does it make it? You know, like.
When is this supposed? When do they usually do developer direct for Xbox? Is it January or?
It's
February?
usually like last week. Yeah, so it's like somewhere between like 23rd to 27th. Yeah.
It'll be right after, like right.
It'll be right after. Yeah.
Oh my.
That's why I was like, so I forgot which one of you was like, we should do it on like the 23rd or 27th. I'm like, no. We gotta do it as early as possible.
Yeah. I think Gears is one that can definitely bring Xbox back as far as like people getting excited about Xbox again, but it's got to release. It's got to release this year, like you said. Like there's a thing it has to release this year.
Oh, Kyle, this is what I love. Rob, I want to hear you say this too. This is great. So Kelvin's here. Kyle, I asked earlier, and Kelvin, I want to hear you say this too, and everybody watching. One of my points was, for Game Pass to stick to that $30 price tag and the 75 plus day one games, what would be like if a third of those games, okay, more like 20-ish or something, were big gets, like Liza P or Expedition 33, or, you know, we're going to get Persona 4 Revival. What is some really good gets you think could happen that isn't beyond the realm of possibility to you, that you think that they would pay like extra money for? I see Kyle going like Code Vein 2. That's a good one. Yakuza Kiwami 3. That's a really good one because they have a great relationship with that studio and Sega. Directive 2080, the Dark Pictures anthology. That's enough. These are good. Kyle, these are good. I can picture all these. The Adventures of Elliot. Dude. Out of words.
The original Code Vein was Xbox game. It's actually one of the first Game Pass games I've played. Was Code Vein. Original.
Was that on Game Pass? That's crazy.
It was on Game Pass. Yeah, it was.
Hella. I don't remember Hella. No Law. That's a good shout. Star Wars Galactic Racer. Dude, I could picture. That's a good list. Kyle, you have a good list. I could picture like almost all of those. Like, Oh man, dude, that's a good list. C2, Slay the Spire 2, they could get a Hades 2.
I think that one was
release.
on Game Pass as well.
Slay the Spire, I believe, was. Yep, that's a good.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. I think. Man, like, I just love something big. What's up?
Could they get Resident Evil Requiem at some point on there?
Okay, at some point, yes. At some point, but not like day one. No.
No. You're saying for like day one.
Day one, yeah. Like they just added Resident Evil 8 to Game Pass, and Resident Evil 7 was on Game Pass too. Like, and Resident Evil 2 remake. Like they're not. Yeah, they add them, but not day one. They did for Capcom. They did add Kunutsugami Path of the Goddess and that dinosaur multiplayer game I can't remember the name of. But those are two Capcom things that launched day one. And I'm like, man, if Pragmata, I don't think Pragmata will do it, but that'd be a really cool get. But I doubt that'll happen. But C2, this is a great question. What's the biggest game they could conceivably get? And it was Exoprimal. Thank you, C2. That's what I want to figure out. Like, what's the biggest game that they could conceivably get?
Crimson Desert, that's coming out. That one's a big one.
That's a good one.
That would be pretty good.
That's a good one, man. That's a studio that, like, they really are banking on it and have invested so much into it. And I don't know, with how much they've marketed that game, I don't picture, like, I feel like any game that's gotten decent marketing and previews
that
and whatnot,
one right there, Kyle. Yeah,
they don't need the Xbox money. What, Lego Batman?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say that one.
I don't know, man. That one's got such broad appeal. Tides of Annihilation would be sick. Okay. Tides of Annihilation.
Like 30 again, all over again. In my opinion, not like as crazy, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, top that off.
Like, because that was at the Xbox partner preview. They didn't put it on Game Pass there, but that would be a pretty cool like if they saved that announcement for the showcase and the showcase had like the date reveal, that would be cool. Kelvin, 007.
I think that one's coming out
soon. I just feel like 007 and Lego Batman, it's like they already have such huge broad appeal that I just can't picture it. So it's like they don't need Game Pass, but yeah, I can't picture it. But that's a fun question. I like that because I want to like keep thinking about that. I almost at some point thought that'd be fun to like think of the ideal 20 for the 70 plus Game Pass, whatever.
Dragon also says Resident Evil. A lot of people are saying Resident Evil. Like 11. It's too late at this point for them to add it, but
that's too
eventually
big, man.
They will eventually have it. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. But I will say though, I really, in terms of like just personal hopes though, I definitely and one more message from the chat, and then I want to just show this quick little round of something and call it. But my question to Rob and Supertone, Kyle, Kelvin, and everybody is, if you have any like what are a couple games you really hope either get revealed this year, release and review really good, or, you know, like just basically 3 games that would be really cool to get from Xbox this year, whether it's a reveal, a release, or so on. Like Rob, you shared one of yours, like if Gears of War comes out, I really hope it's good. Like, I'm aligned with you there. Like, that's definitely my one, for sure. Like,
yeah, that's number 1 from Xbox, for sure. Yeah.
God, I really hope so, man. That'd be so good. And speaking of the marketing, like, I don't know, just having a nice little somber song to go with their launch trailer would be great.
Yep. You shared the one in the chat the other day with the Gears of War 2, Dom's theme, stuff like that.
Yep,
so like, we need something.
Well, no, but I mean like a Gary Jewell or their, you know, whenever they had like the first 3 games in the marketing, there would, or like I think Gears of War 4, they had like a rendition from Disturbed, like just some somber male singing for their launch trailer.
What was the Gears of War song?
Mad World.
Oh my God. Mad World. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they all had one. C2, Revive Viva Pinata. Praise. It'll never happen. Rare doesn't hand off their IP.
I never played Vinny Pinata. Unfortunately, I know it was like the big game. I played Cameo once. It was like one of those two games, and I picked Cameo and I played Cameo. So that was a cool game.
Yeah.
That's an old one. That was also rare. Was Cameo rare?
Yeah. What was it? Kelvin brought up Forza Horizon 6. Yeah. I'm confident, Kelvin. Kelvin says I'm really hoping Horizon 6 comes out this year. I'm fully confident that's happening. Like, yeah, that's gonna be the earliest of the four horsemen, in my opinion. Why do you look like that's disgusting, Rob?
No.
Okay.
Like I'm like convinced Halo or Forza 6 is gonna come out like 100%.
Yeah, I think that's like the springtime.
Yeah,
like to me, my timeline of the four horsemen, if they come out, Forza Horizon 6 is in the spring. Fable is a like smack dab middle summer release, and Halo Campaign Evolved and Gears of War E-Day both kind of release in that fall area. That is my personal prediction. They could say Fable for that area too, but I think that's what I would say. But what's up?
It'll be a really cool game to come back. At least an announcement. A new Crackdown game. Crackdown 4.
See, I would love that, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
No, I don't think.
Crackdown 3. Cool. Crackdown 3 got so bashed, dude. Like,
yeah.
That
was a big title on Xbox 360.
Those are cool. The first two games were amazing, I thought.
Yeah.
Chris Moray, Clockwork Revolution and Fable. I really hope they release and well. Yeah, Clockwork Revolution, I fully believe that's coming out this year because that game showed off so much last year. I will say C2, I want State of Decay 3 to not get canceled. If we don't see State of Decay 3 this year, it's canceled. That's my firm statement. If we don't see State of Decay 3 this year, that project is cut. For sure. What's up?
A new Dead Rising game.
Well done. Well done. That would be.
I have to dig deep for that one.
That would be because literally Dead Rising started on Xbox 360. Yeah, like I would say it's more identifiable with Xbox as a brand, and like it's been a hot minute. And I thought I saw some kind of report or something that they're not giving up on the franchise yet, dude. That would be sick, and that's a good. Yeah, that's pretty. Like when on our first year of our 360 console, we had Capcom partner with us for a certain franchise. Well, they have something to show you guys today.
I can just 100% can see that happening. Like, yeah.
That'd be cool.
They had it might have been a dream, but didn't they announce like they were trying to do a remaster? Yeah, there's a remaster, right?
Well, there is. Okay. There is a remaster remake, yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon,
sorry.
I just see him saying, Dragon, does Xbox own the Sunset Overdrive IP or does Insomniac? I think Insomniac got the rights to that IP back. I'm not confident in that though. But yeah.
Sunset Overdrive. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, C2, KOTOR, and Jade Empire were Xbox exclusives, I believe. Yeah. See, so in this vein, I have a kind of challenge to post. And also 20 votes for how many games does Xbox publish for their 25th anniversary year. And the 20 votes, it says at last place, 9 to 11. And second place, there's only 5% that said 9 to 11. Third place at 30% is 4 to 6 games. And then, sorry, no, never mind. Anyways, top place was 7 to 8. So that's interesting. You guys think 45% of you majority think there's going to be 7 to 8 games. I think there's going to be 10 or 11, which is funny because I'm in that smallest bracket there. I think there's going to be like 10 or 11 Xbox first party things because I'm also going to count. I'm counting. Well, okay, no, I won't count expansions. So okay, 10 first party releases. I don't know what the other 4 are, but I know what 6 of them are. So, but Insomniac. C2, I said 12 plus. Okay. I don't know if you have a bone to pick in that, Rob, but I just feel like after last year, Xbox is releasing so much. So, yeah.
We know we really. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just on another game. Another Ori game. Ori 3.
Moon Studios, they've had their game in early access, No Rest for the Wicked, for like a little over a year now, I think. Full release, that could be pretty cool. But I think that they adamantly said they don't want to do another Game Pass game, so that sucks. But
that does suck.
Yeah. But I will say the most pleasant surprise to me would be I don't know. I just want to see State of Decay 3 is not dead. and Gears of War releases, and it's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. But obviously the fan in me, I really hope to see just a glimpse at whatever is next for Halo, and it's not just these remakes of the trilogy, and if that is a thing, that it's like, cool, or what are you doing outside of that? But I laid out a lot of plans for like how Xbox could have a very successful 2026, their 25th anniversary year. But what I would like to present, so to speak, is a neat little game to those watching. Rob, if you have to go, you can dip, or if you want to take part in it, you're welcome to.
How long is it gonna be? Couple minutes?
5-10 minutes. It's like one of your guys' like whole ranking, to which plug into Gaming Duo podcast. It's kind of like that, but let me just make sure I can share this with you without ruining the show. And then get rid of this. I don't want to see it. Show my screen share. There we go. Okay, now we're good. And then bring you back. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So can you see my screen? I'm sharing a screen to you on Discord. Yeah.
Yep, I can see it.
So, if you're listening or watching live, again, I want to know what you think would make a really ideal year for Xbox for their 25th anniversary. I laid out some plans that I had. I'm especially hoping for them to embrace Halo on their goddamn stage this year. But would love to know what your ideas are for it. But to wrap up, because this is labeled as a CGG, a Codename Good Game episode, and I like to close these out with a nice little good game that Rob just so happens to be able to be a part of really quick, as well as you guys watching, because everybody could participate in this the way I have it done. And I would like you guys to try your little, this isn't really a game. It's more of like a discussion piece. We're going to do a few rounds of this or that. You're going to decide which of these two things you like more, or that you want to keep around in existence, or whatever your reasoning is, like one goes and the other one stays, or one you get to experience and the other you don't, or whatever. Just this or that. It's as simple as that. So, and it is themed around Xbox. So Rob, you might not have a say on some of these, but one of them I know for sure you, and if Kelvin's watching, will have something to say about. So, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. I'm going to put on a little bit of music here. So, number 1, Fable or Elder Scrolls Oblivion. The OG Fable, too. Yeah. This is, these are kind of two classic IP that I need to turn down this music. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Oblivion. I just got more. I didn't really play the original Fable as much. I just know I love Oblivion. I know countless friends that have been sucked into that game. I'm gonna pick Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That to me defined a huge era in the 360. Because Fable was Xbox, right? Original Xbox, and I think Oblivion came on 360. So that's when I kind of jumped on Xbox, was the 360 era. So I'm gonna go Oblivion.
Okay. I need to add you to my thingy. There we go. Okay. Yeah, for me, this is I mean, I'm biased. I'm good here. I don't have much of a say because I haven't played either of them. But I do admit, from the people I know that have played Fable, they say there's just stuff that game did that I feel like other games didn't do at the time. But yeah, so I don't really have a say here. But you say Oblivion. C2 says Oblivion. Kyle says this. I don't know what this means. And Supertone says Fable.
I think
So
this
that's-
is the Fable because it's like over the Fable. I don't know. Or he just seems
this.
funny.
Seems like, yeah, mostly everybody's saying Oblivion, to which I figured, but next one. Psychonauts!
Ooh.
Or Conker's Bad Fur Day. Xbox now owns both of these. They're both IP that they bought. And yeah, it's just IP generally, you know, you don't have to think Psychonauts 2 or any other games. I don't know. Did Conker have more than one game? I don't know.
I thought I had a second game, but maybe I'm wrong.
So did Psychonauts.
It came
Damn,
out.
Kelvin and
wasn't,
C2
like, great.
instantly already say Conker.
I'm gonna go Conquer as well.
You guys are monsters. I mean, but this is probably because I feel like Conker has so much more of a message and like reached people with like the craziness that of like a foul mouth rat or whatever, and he's literally holding beer in the cover there, but with a hot furry. But I tell you what, I'm Psychonauts 100% on this because I just think the it's the quirkiness in me, it's the zaniness, it's the Tim Burton, it's the even the platforming too. I think the gameplay in Psychonauts is great. I do admit Conker's Fur Day leaves a much more lasting impression, but I just think Psychonauts, even the first game, I think it's stupidly well designed. But I think majority, yeah. There was 2 for Conker, 1 for Psychonaut. Bobby says Oblivion again. Okay. Yeah, so I'm the minority in these so far. Okay. Well, Conker Bad Fur Day, I guess, wins this one. But the next one, and I think I remember what this is. Get ready. This or that. Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, or Gears of War 3. Instantly 3? Rob instantly says 3.
3 was just the perfect. It just perfected what the other 2 did, and it was fantastic. It just put the bow on the series, and it was just freaking tastic. I love that game so much. I think Gears of War 3 is like the birth of me becoming a sweat. I think that's the game that did it. Gears of War 3 all day.
Man, for me, here's the thing. I think Gears of War 1, it's like, I just find Gears of War 1 to be the most iconic. Like, hands down.
Yes.
Because, like, like that game for the time was insane. Like, there was just nothing, like, visually, like, that really ushered in the HD era to me. Gears of War was one of those things that really made you feel like you're, like, a next-gen system. And it's the most, like, horrifying of all the Gears, in my opinion. And that's something that kind of slowly went away through 2 and 3. Like, elements of it, sure, but yeah, that's Gears of War 2. I actually love that campaign because, like, I feel like it's truly a blockbuster movie to me. To me personally, I feel like 3 has a bit too much fluff if I'm just thinking of the campaigns.
Okay.
I love each of these for certain reasons. Gears of War 1 for the next gen, like, oh my God, there's nothing like this. Gears of War 2 for honestly introducing horde mode, and I like the multiplayer and blockbuster feel. It felt like a step up sequel. And 3 for honestly the PvE. I think of the campaign, but I love that they integrated, I think, like how it introduced sweatiness to you. It introduced my love for like the grind. I think like 3 made me like, oh my God, I can level up my decoy so it eventually can become an Onyx guard. That's cool. And like all that stuff. So
this
I'm
series
split,
is
man.
like a perfect evolution of like, gaming line as far as like going from the trilogy, right? Like, I think that they just flow so nicely into each other. And Gears of War for the campaign, Gears 2 kind of right in the middle because they really kind of made the multiplayer better, and then Gears of War 3 perfected the multiplayer. But I think the campaign in Gears 1 was stronger. So, to your point.
I think I'm gonna say Gears of War 1.
1.
That could change depending on how I feel, but for now I'll just say 1. I think that's the campaign I could like replay the most, but I think back to 2 and 3 the most, and I'm kind of just thinking the campaign because even though 3 has stuff that is the most like memorable to me for multiplayer, I just feel like just that first campaign I don't know, I could hit it a lot.
That's how you know you have a good trilogy is when it's hard to pick. I
was just thinking that like it's a solid trilogy, exactly. So yeah, Rob says Gears 3, I'll say Gears 1. But I see so many people saying Gears 3 in the chat. Bobby, Kelvin said Gears 3 by far. Correction, far.
By far.
Yeah, everybody said Gears 3 except for Supertone. Supertone said, I've only played the first one. Am I missing out? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, you are. Yeah, it still holds up, I feel like. Oh, I think all of them hold up. But Gears 1, admittedly, I appreciate Gears 2 that they fixed up the Lancer sound. Gears 2 is when they make the Lancer not sound like it's shooting out BB guns, whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
Semifinal. This or that, 1 versus 100 or Fusion Frenzy. Rob, I feel like you don't know either of these very well. Basically, 1 versus 100 was a very iconic thing to the Xbox 360 of just like, hey, if you have Xbox Live, you get to play this game for free. And there's 1 player versus 100 players in a quiz show. And it was amazing. You could actually win real like money playing the game for like your Microsoft account. And Fusion Frenzy was for the original Xbox, and it was basically their answer to like Mario Party. Like, let's have this exclusive game that's just like a party game, and there's all these different mini games that they do, not like in the board game sense, but just kind of mini game sense. These are like, to me, the 2 most iconic Xbox party things. Kelvin says, you got me here. Kyle says 1 versus 100. C2 says Fusion Frenzy. Super says Fusion Frenzy. Kyle, I need 1 versus 100 come back. Dan is Dan. Fusion Frenzy with IP mascots. Bro, yes. Man, I have to say 1 versus 100. Like if I was asked this question, I mean, I found the question, but like I thought it's like a fun pair up. But I think 1 versus 100 was, you could win real money. That was the crazy part. You could win real money if like you were the 1 and you managed to beat the 100, and like, oh my gosh, I could actually like that was crazy, and it was just included with your Xbox Live. And yeah, I wish they would bring back 1 versus 100 so bad, even if they don't give you actual prize money. But yeah,
Fusion Frenzy looks very fun. It looks like just a blast because it's just like a party game. And oh, that's really cool. That's tough because I do remember 1 versus 100. That's tough, but I'm gonna go just based on the gameplay. We'll go Fusion Frenzy just because it just looks like a blast. So
I mean, like, Fusion Frenzy is the more like gameplay game. That is for sure. No question. Yeah. Kelvin, yeah, if you can win real money, then that's my pick. Lol. Exactly. Like, and then the last one for this, I think if I remember this, the spin-offs. Halo Reach or Fallout New Vegas. For the spin-offs of very mainline IP that Xbox owns, Halo Reach or Fallout New Vegas. Rob, you got blown back by that one.
Tony, do you know what is my which Halo game is my favorite Halo game of all time?
It's the one where you make a last stand.
It's the one that's on that screen right there. That is my number 1 Halo game. So that's without a question. Halo Reach, such a good game. Okay. Such a good game.
Interesting. What made Halo Reach, like, if you played the original trilogy too, like what made it so much more of a favorite to you?
I really loved the story. The story made me feel a certain type of way. Just, I mean, at this point, it's just, things are going down and you're just like, you know what, we're still pushing through. And that's just, it was such a profound time. And I was like in college when this game came out. I just felt like, you're Noble 6 and you're seeing all your homies go down with this shit. And it's so good. It's like the last time for me, Halo story writing was just like chef's kiss. And don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, Fallout New Vegas is very good too, but I just like Fallout 3 better, personally.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, I mean, I don't feel like I can pick anything here. I thought this was a great pair up because it's like 2 spin-offs that were amazing or whatever. I literally hear some people say Fallout New Vegas is like the best Fallout or whatever, which is nutso butso. Who knows? Those 4 projects Obsidian is working on. Maybe that's fun, but
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't feel I could speak on this because I've never played Fallout New Vegas. I just thought it'd be a fun pair up for anybody watching to say, like, Kyle Fritz says Halo Reach. Bobby says Halo Reach. C2 says New Vegas was the hardest one. Supertone, I'm split, but I guess I lean towards Reach. That's what I was kind of worried about. I had a feeling like Fallout New Vegas, the reputation precedes it, but a lot of us haven't played it or something. I was a bit worried about that, but I like the pair up. So, yeah, I think if I did play New Vegas, though, I would definitely probably still say Halo Reach, but that's just because I'm biased. So anyway, yeah. So that's that shenanigans. But Rob, I appreciate you swinging in. You were welcome to dip, sir. But I appreciate your takes on what Xbox is. Any like closing comment about what you hope, like just Xbox for the 25th anniversary, or Developer Direct, or a game, or the brand? Just any like final thoughts of what you hope Xbox does this year to shift things?
Yeah, for me, for Xbox, the best things they could do to kind of like give me more faith in in them is to come off that new console this year and make sure Gears of War E-Day comes out this year, and it's everything that we want it to be. So those are kind of like my two wishes, and I'm like, please just get just those 2 things, and I'll be a happy camper. So yeah. Cool. Also, stop increasing the price of Game Pass. That's it.
Yep, that's it. All right, man, you can
See
dip.
you guys.
I appreciate it. Later. All right, but yeah, I hope everybody like enjoyed the takes and whatnot. I really appreciated seeing your comments on it as we went. And that pair up towards the end. I want to do more of those where not even just in live streams, but also in content. I have something I shot about Donkey Kong Bonanza versus Super Mario Odyssey. That is going to be a video. I don't know when that video will come out. I feel like I should save it for when it's close to a Nintendo Direct to just be well-timed and relevant. But I want to do more this or that. So I want to do more rankings. And I am looking forward to seeing if my predictions come to fruition or if they come down crashing and burning for Xbox's 25th anniversary year. We have the Developer Direct coming up. And I don't know. Like, I really hope that Developer Direct like nails it. But yeah, I just appreciate you watching. Supertone, Kyle, Dogtag, C2, and so on. Kelvin and Rob hopping in. Like, just thank you guys so much for listening. Like, I want to do this more where I'm not trying to, like, going forward at least. Like, this wasn't me previously, but going forward, I just want to be a dude on the internet that I appreciate you sharing your time with, that shares some takes, that he's been a passionate gamer for years. He likes anime, he works out, and like I just really want to appreciate everybody's time that swings in to hang out with me. So that's you. I really appreciate that. And Dogtag Duke, one last question. When is the Developer Direct? Rob asked that earlier. There's no confirmed date as of this show, but most of the time it's in like the last 10 days of the month of January. So sometime between like January 21st to January 28th, I would say, somewhere in that ballpark. So I will definitely live stream my reaction to that. Next week, we have our Fantasy Critic Draft of 2026, where Rob, you just saw him, as well as Kelvin from the Gaming Duo podcast, Onyx, our last year's winner from the Gaming Resume, Jono from the Elder Trolls, and even a potential 6-comer coming. Should be very interesting, where we draft what we think will be the highest rated games of the year. That's going to be next week. And tomorrow, if the podcast form, this doesn't matter, but tomorrow I will be reacting to the New Game Plus showcase. This will be a showcase that's a bunch of content creators curating a bunch of games that don't really have the budget to market themselves at like the Game Awards and so on. They just showcase a bunch of games they think is worth showing. So I'll be watching that tomorrow. Or, if this is after the fact, you could watch my reaction to that. That will be the next thing, and that'll close out the week. But for now, I'm looking forward to spending 2026 with you and the community in this anniversary year of not just Xbox, but also the 10th anniversary of Samurai Kibiji as a YouTube channel. So I'm going to skedaddle, let you guys go. And I really appreciate you. So I'm going to go. Be awesome. See you later.